everybody. Nice to see you all again. Welcome back to K-Fi. I'm your host, Kaya, and Gu is absent today because he is not feeling very well. So don't worry about that. Gu will be here tomorrow. So welcome to K-Fi, where we give you the latest news, K-pop news, what's going on here. And today's segment is going to be our Kishu segment. And this is where we talk about the latest K-pop news and the issues that are happening within the K-pop community and the fandoms and all those crazy, wonderful, lovely things. So, if you guys didn't know, there has been like a scandal that has happened recently, and not even just recently, but it's been happening for a while, and it has something to do with the Joonyoung. I never remember his name because to me he was always irrelevant. I never liked him as a drama actor or whatever. He just was not that great. South Korean court has sentenced K-pop stars Joonyoung and Choi Jong-hoon, just making sure I get their names right, which doesn't matter at this point, to 6 and 5 years in prison, which is crap because that's so short, for gang raping drunk, unconscious women. So I know you guys are gonna comment on the whole sentencing part because the 5 and 6 years, like, come on now. People get more time in Korea, I think, for like being caught with like drugs and different things like that. So for this thing to be happening and they only get like 6 to 5 years, and I don't know, part of me thinks that they're not even going to do the whole 5 to 6 years, but that's just my opinion. Jung was also charged with filming the assault and distributing the footage because I said before in the group chat, he was sending this footage to all his little friends, his little nasty friends, and they're watching this stuff because they're just absolutely sick. The men will have to do 80 hours of sexual violence treatment courses and are banned from working with children. Wow, like, is that really a surprise? Sorry. The case is one of several sex and abuse scandals that have rocked the K-pop world in recent years. I feel like this was one of the most recent ones, but it's also the most scandalous and this is definitely one of the worst I've ever heard. Like, it's up there because it's just unbelievable. So, Judge Kang Song-soo said that Jung, 30 years old, had raped women who were drunk and unable to resist, filmed them nude and having sex, and then spread it on a group chat. We can't imagine the pain the victims might have felt who found out later. He also said that it seemed like Jung viewed the victims as just a tool for pleasure. In the final testimony, Jung, who rose to fame on a TV talent show, said, "I deeply regret my foolishness and I feel great remorse." That's it? That's not just foolishness, dude. Like, sir, that's not even just foolishness. Wow. It's on Choi, a former member of the band FT Island, which had a #1 albums in South Korea. The court said the 30-year-old did not feel remorse after mass raping drunken victims. Wow. This is I'm getting steamed, like I'm getting pissed. The allegations involving some of the biggest K-pop stars, yes, we know this. So when we investigated the issue earlier this year, the lawyer, Cha Mi Kyung, was described these rapes as hidden crimes, which isn't surprising because a lot of things are done in the dark, especially for these K-pop stars because they have money, they have connections, they could really get away with a lot of these different things. So it's not surprising to hear this. This is rather too much for this type of crime. These women were not kidnapped on the street, but followed the handsome singers. But young women are realizing this together, that they do have a voice. In protests and marches, they are speaking out in Korea recently, and for quite a bit of time, but recently it's really been growing. So thanks to them, things are changing. The two K-pop stars who jokingly talked about gang rape, like gang raping women and sharing it with their friends, are now behind bars. At the very least, this horrific crime, which has taken place in the shadows of South Korean society, has been dragged into the light. But the fact that they're not even getting a lot of time for this, like these serious crimes, is just beyond me. And the fact that the other dude didn't even express remorse, like, that is crazy. He doesn't even care. And that's kind of disturbing. I don't really think that he should just be free to roam the streets. So the case against the two was discovered during a separate police investigation into K-pop superstar Sming, who was reportedly a member of Jung's group chat. Reportedly. I'm not going to speak on that, but reportedly. So Sming, whose boy band, Big Bang, has sold more than 140 million records, has been charged with supplying prostitutes to potential business investors. Police reportedly found Jung's videos while investigating that case. My God, crazy. And then if you read more on the case, it was apparently said that there was like a lot of police corruption. They were paying off police officers. These, like, they weren't even thinking about these women. They had no thoughts about them. So why should they be given less time? Like, why should they be given like such a short period of time to serve if they didn't even give a thought to these women of how they were feeling? So Taeyeon expressed frustration after Hong Min-ji claimed she almost made it into SNSD. So Taeyeon is pissed right now, guys. I'm not gonna say pissed, but she's just not that happy with this claim that Hong Min-ji made. So let's get into that. So Taeyeon's Instagram said, on her Instagram, in order to debut in Girls Generation, so the 8 of us put everything on the line and gave our all from a very long time ago. It is not a group that was just hastily put together in one day. While it's true the efforts were made to put together the best possible members, we spent a long time together before we were first shown to the public. And the group, Girls' Generation, is not like a bus station that anyone could just stop by while passing through. Ooh, okay, that's shady. That's so shady of her. She's like, it's not a bus station. You can't just hop on. You were denied. You're not in the group, and you never were. That's what I got from that. She was being really shady and petty, and I like it. Okay, Taeyeon, she's being a lot more outspoken these days. I'm loving it. She mad. So, Voice Queen contestant Hong Min-ji apologizes to Girls' Generation fans after Taeyeon's social media post. So apparently that post probably cut her a little deep, as she went off on not went off, but after Taeyeon went off on her, Hong Min-ji was probably feeling kind of like, okay, well, I take that back. Like it's not what I, thought, what I made it seem like. So, Hong Min-ji made an apology to Girls' Generation fans after Taeyeon posted an Instagram story regarding the Voice Queen's contestant. It says that she made an apology, and on the MBN show, Hong Min-ji revealed that she was once a trainee at SM Entertainment who was in the running to become a Girls' Generation member. So apparently, she expressed, I was a former trainee at SM 17 years ago. Woo! That's a long time ago. Oh my God. That's a long time ago. I was going to say, was I born? But no, I was definitely born. I was young, but yeah. So I could have become a member of Girls' Generation. I shed tears when I saw Girls' Generation debut. I thought, that's where I should be. My husband said he wants me to try one more time, so I decided to appear on this show. Dang. Wow. Okay, she has a whole husband and everything now. Okay, wow. So, however, a controversy arose when Taeyeon made a post suggesting she had never even practiced with Hong Min-ji during her trainee days. Ooh, Taeyeon is shady. She's so shady. I wouldn't have said nothing. She don't care. She's just like, I don't remember you. I don't remember ever practicing you. I didn't see your face. So, woo. Okay, Taeyeon. So that's when she wrote in that Instagram post, like what happened with the whole, you can't just say like you joined our team or you were on the running to join our team. Like we put a lot of work into that and they picked the members carefully. You weren't one of them, so shut your mouth. That's what I got. And that's what it sounded like she said. English translation of the English translation, she don't care. There we go. See, and there you go. Today we're going to be talking about BTS's Jimin. He invested into a building. So he kind of bought a building. He's investing into it right now. Apparently, Jimin from BTS, he invested in a building, and it says that it was like 4 billion, 80 million won. That's crazy. Jimin out here spending 4 billion, 80 million won. So 4 billion, for you guys who don't know, I want to say that would be like 4 million. So that's like 4 million in USD. Just kind of like the equivalent. So yeah, he's spending like almost 5 million, but in Korean won, 4 billion, 80 million won, on a building, and it looks like around the, let's just say like the Gangnam area. And yeah, it looks like he's going to be building, not building, but getting all this stuff together and building like his investment towards the future, different things like that. And the city life in Seoul, you're going to be using an apartment. You're going to be buying an apartment. I don't even think there's like necessarily a thing that's condos. So it's going to be mostly apartments and things like that. And when I got here, I thought that was so weird because I'm like, I don't know where can I find a house? Like, is that a thing? It's not. So when it says they're investing in apartments, that's actually normal because that's what Seoul mostly consists of, and that's what Korea mostly consists of, is apartments. And houses are incredibly expensive. Like, you gotta have some money to be getting a house in Korea. Like, it's really expensive. So he's investing in an apartment, he's getting an apartment, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He's a part of the whole young and rich crew. The last thing I want to talk about, which I think is honestly the best for last, is Hyuna. And first of all, I love her. I think that as an idol, she's really someone that I could like look up to. And that's just my like thing. And I say look up to because I love how expressive she is. I love how she just doesn't care what people think to a certain extent. And she's just kind of like very open and very free and very powerful, strong. She's confident. I love everything about her. But I even love the fact that this is a sad thing, obviously, but I love her even more for the fact that she revealed that she deals with depression, panic disorder, and I don't even know how to pronounce this word. She always seems like she's like doing really well. She puts on a really good effort or a really good front to where she seems like she's okay and nothing's wrong. And I understand that that is kind of, in correlation to Korean society. But I'm really proud of her for being so honest about this instead of pretending that everything is okay. Hi, hello to my fans, Taeyeon, and also to the many people who like me and are interested in me. I'm not sure if this is the right decision or not, but it's something I decided after a lot of thought, so I'm really going to tell my story. To be honest, I dreamt of being on stage since I was very young. I achieved that dream, and I received so much more love and interest than I ever could have imagined. And I think I went through a process of growth. Maybe because I've thought that I've especially had so many opportunities ever since I was young, I've always felt grateful, and to be honest, excited. At those times, I also felt sorry. Time went on, and after my debut, I became an adult. And I thought I needed to take responsibility for everything I do. I thought I shouldn't make any mistakes. And I wanted to be someone that was everyone's choice. Because of that ambition, I looked just straight ahead and kept running. I didn't know I was sick. And when we say, when it translates into English, it says like, I didn't know I was sick, which is kind of like I've heard a lot of people who are not native English speakers say, like, I'm sick or something like that. And to me, I feel like that kind of sends a different message. Instead of saying like, I didn't know that I was dealing with a mental illness or I was having mental health problems, different things like that. Instead of saying sick, because I know maybe you guys hear it that way too, a sick is probably a little insensitive. So I would suggest saying mental health problems or mental health issues. So she was dealing with mental health problems, mental health issues. It makes me feel so sad reading this. So again, however, because of the great people and fans who were always together with me, I just thought I was okay. But then I found out when I first went to the hospital in 2016 that I was ill mentally. See, so like how naturally when you're physically sick, you take medicine. Like when you have a cold, you take cold medicine. I was someone who always had been so tough, so I couldn't believe the diagnosis of depression and panic disorder. I think I didn't believe it for a year. Now, I naturally get treatments once every 2 weeks, and I try not to think badly about it because I have many people around me. But then I first experienced my vision getting foggy and I collapsed. Several times I thought, this must be a symptom from my panic disorder too, and I ignored it. However, a doctor advised me to go to a university hospital, so I had some tests done on my brainwaves, and I found out that I have something called, which I've never heard of, I was lost. And it seemed like I had no options. I wanted to be on stage, but I was worried that if I kept falling down like this, often, if people knew that I'm sick, then maybe people wouldn't want to have me perform. Since I was worried about that, I didn't want to tell anyone. I wanted to keep my secret for a long time. But whenever I would fall down, I would feel anxious on my own, and I felt so sorry. When I was doing an advertisement or something else on my schedule, when I was doing an event, I was so sorry to the many people who had believed in me and entrusted me with that. So I wanted to relieve those feelings even a little bit, and that's why I'm here to say this honestly. Although I was cautious, I didn't hide it, and I gathered up the courage to try to talk about it. I'm going to keep bravely trying to be well, but I think people can't be perfect. I think it's not too late, and I'm going to love myself and take care of myself. I'm going to be courageous and honest like I am now. Thank you very much for reading. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. Okay. I felt like this was like really personal, even reading this whole thing. That just brought a wave of emotions with me because I feel like I relate to this a lot. And it's like you don't want people to know how badly you're like suffering or necessarily in pain. So I'm more proud of her for being honest about it and talking about it, because sometimes it can get to the point where a lot of celebrities or idols don't say anything, and it's only up until the point where they commit suicide or things like that. It's too late. And people are like, well, what was wrong? They never said anything. But a lot of times, you're just not going to be able to notice symptoms coming from people. It's like she actually is saying it because she wants people to know she's not perfect. And I think she's also reaching out to say like she does need help and she requires that. And that's like so sad. Oh my goodness, I'm getting emotional. And that's pretty much all that we're going to get into today. So thank you so much for tuning in for our broadcast, our news, our Kishu album. I said album, our Kishu. It's like an album. It sounds like an album title. So tuning in for our Kishu news today. Thank you so much for watching me. See you guys tomorrow.